OK, we're going to start, though, with the breaking news this morning, and that is that Sean Dyche has become the third manager to be sacked by Nottingham Forest this season, following their goalless draw last night with Wolves. Dyche was in charge for just 114 days, 17 games. Forest announced his dismissal at midnight, 3 hours after that 0-0 draw. So at 12:31 this morning, Forest put out this statement on X saying Nottingham Forest Football Club can confirm that Sean Dyche has been relieved of his duties as head coach. We'd like to thank Sean and his staff for their efforts during their time at the club, and we wish them the best of luck for the future. We'll be making no further comments at this time. Well, following the game and before his sacking, Dyche faced questions over his future, and he accepted that his fate was out of his hands.
The owner's been fair to me, without a shadow of a doubt, fair on the situation. If anyone chooses to change in football now, that's their decision. You know, if people want change, we've all seen it, you know. People can demand change, and then it's up to owners whether they change or not. You know, I just work very hard. I care about this club. I've made that clear, side of my staff. I'm working very hard. I'm not saying the players are not, by the way, but we certainly are as a staff. That's what you do. You know, we work very hard. If the owner wants to make a change, then that's up to him, and that's the way football is now. You know, that's just the reality of it. But I'm not questioning the owner here. He's been absolutely fair with me from beginning to the end, and I've been fair with him and told him the truth every step of the way. Owners are owners. You know, they don't warm you up, you know, and go, by the way. You know what I mean? It just comes and it comes. That's the way it goes. I'm a realist. I understand. You know, the noise here has changed significantly since the last few games, and the only thing I'm frustrated at is it's not a terrible run. If you're on, you know, some of the teams I'm seeing in the Premier League, I'm winning like 14 games and stuff like that, and I'm going, well, okay, but that's still the modern way football is. Demand is high. That's changed enormously in the last probably 2 years. Demand is getting higher and higher and higher and higher. Expectation immediately grows. Sign some players, expectation grows, etc., etc. That's just one example, but you get my point. So if people want change here and the owner wants to change, that is entirely up to him. But there's no lack of respect from me from the owner. He's been first class to me since I've been here. And if he wants to make a change, that is entirely up to him. And if the fans want to change, that's entirely up to them. All I do is work very, very hard at a club that I care about.
So Forest are 1 place, 3 points above the relegation zone. That's despite a relatively decent run of form recently. Just 1 defeat in their last 6 games, winning 2 of those. But West Ham's recent upturn has seen that gap with the bottom 3 narrow. And we mentioned that run of form. Dyche is actually one of the nominations for January's Premier League Manager of the Month, alongside Michael Carrick, Andoni Iraola and Liam Rosenior. And Forest are back in action in a week's time. The big question is, will they have found a replacement by the time they play Fenerbahce in the first leg of their Europa League playoff? That game kicks off a run of several huge fixtures for Forest, with games against Liverpool and Man City coming up as well. Well, here is the number of games that Evangelos Marinakis has given to each permanent manager in his time at the club. Dyche took charge of 17. Steve Cooper took charge of the most with 108. And Postecoglou the least with just 8 matches in charge.